nutritional therapy part comes from my practice, or my former practice, I'd like to say. So, I'm your host again, Teresa T.L. Matthew. I'm founder of Some Foods, the maker of Some Sweets. That is the most spectacular sweetener that there is on the market, if I do say so myself. And I do. It helped me to overcome my sugar addiction and to rid myself of a sugar addicted body. So, and also lost weight in the process. So, fantastic for helping me with that, and it's helped others as well. So what we do here is we talk about health news and information, and we oftentimes have special guests. But if you like this type of content, go ahead, give us a thumbs up, and our videos, follow us on all of our social medias. In fact, I invite you to comment, and I also invite you to subscribe to our channels. We can be found on Facebook at SAIRNT. We go live there. We're streaming live there, as well as on YouTube at SAIRNT. And you can also catch us on Instagram at Some Sweet Foods, and on Twitter at Some Sweet Foods. All right. Again, just want to welcome you to today's broadcast. And if you are if you're tuning into our audio, or you want to listen to our audio, you can also get that on Anchor at SAIRNT as well. So it's SAIR Nutritional Therapy, and it stands for Sugar Addiction is Real. All right. I want to remind you all that this is November. It's Diabetes Awareness Month, National Diabetes Awareness Month. If you don't know your risk for diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or developing it, if you don't know whether or not you're pre-diabetic and you'd like to just kind of get a risk assessment, you can get that at the American Diabetes Association. So go over there to their website, ada.org. I do believe that is the handle. But go over there to their website. You can just Google American Diabetes Association. They do have an assessment that you can take to determine your risk for developing diabetes. All right, so no guests are on with us today. We do usually have our guests on Tuesday and Thursday, and while we're still doing keeping up with a little bit of housekeeping that we have going on here, would like to let you know that we will have a special guest coming on next Tuesday, November 30th. We will have a personal development coach, and she will be coming on and sharing with us about her struggles, her love for sugar, and how she overcame emotional eating. And her name is Catherine May. So that's going to be on next Tuesday. And on Thursday, we have a mindful breathing coach that will be coming and joining and sharing with us about breathing as therapy. And her name is Tiffany O'Hearn. So tune in next Tuesday and Thursday if you want to participate in those things. Again, like the videos, comment, subscribe. I invite you to do that. Please do that. It helps us, and we want to grow this channel. All right, now on to today's topic. So what we're talking about today, and I don't know if it's flashing across the screen because, again, I can't see these things anymore. I can't, if I put my if I try and share screens, and I'm on my computer, so if I try and share my screens, share the screen space that I have, then it just completely closes out the camera app now. So I really can't use that. So I have to go away from the camera. But what we're talking about today is natural weapons to help you fight belly fat. Sounds good, huh? Yeah, so there are lots of things that you can put into your arsenal when you're trying to fight belly fat, when you're trying to deal with it. So we want to talk about some natural weapons, some foods that you can use, and some things that you can use to help you in your fight against the old belly fat. All right, so the first thing we can talk about is a food, or with foods, and most of these are going to be foods, and I will dive deeper into some of these various foods, but some of them are pretty self-explanatory. Others of them, there might be some extra things that I can share with you about those particular foods. So first up is raspberries. Now, I am not a huge fan of raspberries. I don't know if you can see it, but I have a scar. I have a scar just right here under my eye. from when I was about 12 years old, I got cut. There was a raspberry tree, or I think it was raspberries. It was some kind of, all these little red berries that look just like raspberries used to fall off the tree. We called them raspberries. But I got cut climbing that tree when I was about 12. When I was about 12. I mean, it was like a bush or something like that. And, but yeah, I got cut right there under my eye with those from some berry bush or berry tree or whatever. But we called them raspberries. We were kids, so we called them raspberries. But aside from that, raspberries, they're sweet, they're juicy, and they're good for you, right? And so they have high levels of potassium and calcium and lutein. And these terms are so like hard to pronounce, but zeaxanthin. Zeaxanthin. Let me spell it. Zeaxanthin. Xanthin. Z zeaxanthin. That's because it looks like xanthan to me. So zeaxanthin. But anyway, and these berries, they will help fend off belly fat, and they also will protect your eyes from macular generation, right? So isn't that great? So they're help you fight belly fat and good for your eyes. Call that a win-win, don't you? Fantastic. So the next thing is what I couldn't wait to get to this one. I just couldn't wait. I couldn't wait. Water. Remember, I always tell you, encourage you to get your 4. If you drink bottled water, this is 16.9 fluid ounces. All you need to do is drink 4 of these per day. Drink 4 of these a day. That will give you your 64 fluid ounces, which is the minimum that you need. Now, you can also drink more water than that, but if it at the very minimum, you need to drink 4 of these. Get 64 ounces of water per day. I want to make sure that's in the camera. So that's 4. Oh, well, we're not trying to promote any particular brand here. It's just water, right? Just water. All right. So water is one of the weapons that you can use in your fight against belly fat. Now, see, 64 ounces is about half a gallon. Okay, because a gallon is 128 ounces. Now, in my younger days, I used to drink a gallon of water a day. And I just took a milk jug, filled it up with water. I would polish it off in the morning, and I would be peeing till the afternoon. But that's what I used to do to make sure that I got my water in. Now I just simply just do 4 of these, right? And I don't like drink them like all at one time, because I didn't know anything back then that you could get like water intoxication kind of thing, where you thin your blood, you thin everything really, really quickly, and it could be very damaging. So that's not something that you really want to do like that. You want to space your water drinking out. But I would just chug a gallon and then go pee off the rest of it. But yeah, so ideally you should drink 64 ounces or half a gallon of water every day, and that's in order to cleanse and detoxify your body. And if you're looking for, to get a flat tummy, which most of us are, I'm in the FUPA category, so, hey. But I haven't seen a flat belly in I don't know how many years. But for those of you who have a flat belly, want to keep a flat belly, or if you want to get back to a flat belly without going through surgery, this may be something that can help, right? So if you're looking to get a flat tummy, you want to be sure to stay away from the sparkling water, okay? Because why? That's going to give you bloating and gas, because it's carbon dioxide is filled with carbon dioxide, and that's gas. Okay. All right, so you want to stay away from that and just drink your plain old regular water. All right, number 3. Oh my gosh, I loved almonds. And notice I said loved almonds. I loved them until I did the keto diet. And with keto, when they're trying to avoid flour, almond becomes the substitute, almond flour. And now it's like, now listen, I know that they make everything with almond flour, but almond flour is gritty to me, and I'm not a fan of gritty foods, right? Of gritty things, except cornbread. I don't even like grits, but I can do cornbread, but I don't like grits because cornbread isn't that gritty. It's it can get soft enough, but almond, no. They make almond cornbread, and I'm sorry, it's not sopping up anything. Okay, it's because it remains gritty. It doesn't sop up anything. But almonds are delicious. Now that's just my little about almonds, but they're delicious. Okay, I love almonds themselves, and I used to love them chocolate coated, of course. But almonds are delicious. So they're rich in omega 9s, which are an essential fatty acid. And these fatty acids help to regulate blood sugar levels, which is a key which is key when it comes to snacking, right? So you would want to eat something that's healthy. Now, I love almonds. I loved them until I was force feeding myself them in trying to stay away from flour. Okay, so that kind of deterred my love of almonds, but they're good for you. Okay, and if you're doing keto and you're don't come for me, if you're doing keto and you're loving the substitute of almond flour for everything, that's great. I love almond flour as a pie crust. Exactly where it should be, at the bottom of a cheesecake for me, made with some sweet, of course. All right, next, avocados. Now, I know somebody's going to come for me about some avocados. Yes, do I have some food aversions? Yes, I do. I do. And I love the creaminess of avocados. I love the thought of avocados. And I love me some guacamole. Okay? But as far as avocados on toast or avocado, I used to make avocado ice cream because I was trying to avoid milk fat and butter and all that. And it made a phenomenal ice cream. Yes, it did. But you know what it also did? Tasted like avocados in the ice cream. That's exactly what it tasted like. All right? Chocolate covered avocados. Now, some people might like that, and that's fine. But an avocado to me tastes kind of like a banana, and I have aversions to bananas. So I kind of anything that kind of tastes like a banana, I kind of go the opposite direction. But avocados, they're phenomenal if you want to have them in your diet. Now, I'm just being honest and telling you how I feel about it, so don't come for me. But avocados, they're absolutely wonderful. They're great for you. They're high in calories though, but they're filled with healthy fats. Okay, and that's why I really like them. They do lend their creaminess, their dreamy creaminess to everything that you add them to, and it's a healthy fat, and it helps to lower cholesterol and regulate your blood sugar. It's rich in potassium. That's why I think a lot of people eat them when they're doing keto and things like that. Great source of potassium. You notice, and bananas are too, right? That's why I said, oh, they taste the same. But anyway, that's just me and my taste buds. But they're rich in potassium and fiber and vitamins B and E, and avocados are a powerhouse when it comes to burning fat and helping you to lose weight. So it's a great something to have if you like them. All right. Next, we have fish. Now, what can I say about fish? Except that I love it. Love it. Whitefish is a great source of lean protein because it's low in calories. And you can try and eat the fish twice a week. And, there are various types out there, various types of fish. My favorite is cod. I love cod. I'm not a big salmon lover, but you know what? I remember when I was a kid, when I was growing up, and I have not done this myself, but we used to have salmon croquettes, and like just little like salmon burgers, salmon patties, and I said I was going to try and make some of those because I cook salmon for all the other people in my household because everybody loves salmon, but I was not a fan of salmon. So I think I might make some salmon croquettes because I remember those from my childhood and I absolutely love those. Also, mackerel. So you get the mackerel in the can, the bones are really soft. When if you eat bones, they're really good for you. You can eat those bones because they're softened up. And you take that mackerel and you mix that with eggs and cornmeal. And we would call them, we call them mackerels, okay, but you know, mackerel croquettes is what they were, just the same as salmon croquettes, and they were really, really delicious. So that's another something that you can have. Tuna. Now, I'm not a fan of tuna casserole, and I know a lot of people, you know, tuna casserole was a staple back in the day when I was growing up, but I don't like tuna casserole. But I do love me a good tuna sandwich, okay? And I love tuna as like a dip with some celery, carrots, things like that. So tuna is a great dip. You can make it loose enough and it will make a great dip. It tastes absolutely wonderful. I do love my tuna that way. But tuna, fish is great to have. So whatever type of fish that you like, try and get that lean portions of fish twice a weekend. Of course, if you're going to get salmon, it's going to have a little fat in there, and that's great in omega 3s. All right. Now this next thing is good for you, but I am not a fan. And that's chili peppers. Now, if you like the spicy stuff, that's great, but no, 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 no. And some of you like it's so spicy, you can't taste it. Doesn't taste it like it just wipes your taste buds away. I can't do that. Maybe because you can handle the pepper and you can handle the spice, you can still taste stuff with it. But for me, I taste nothing but pepper, and it can be too spicy for me. So I like mild. So and you people out, and some of y'all out there, y'all love spicy food so much. I don't trust y'all taste buds. When I say, is it hot? And y'all be like, oh no, it's not hot. I'll be like, do you eat? My first question is always, do you eat pepper? Do you like hot stuff? If you say yes, I don't trust you because it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be like, whoo, flaming for me. Now, I don't eat spicy stuff, but my kids eat spicy stuff. They absolutely love it, but I can't handle it. But chili peppers, right? Spice makes you slim by temporarily revving up your metabolism. It's really great for you. So, and using chilies in cooking is a perfect way to reap those fat burning benefits. And so, to be more precise, the spice actually comes from the capsaicin, right? That's contained in the chilies, and this substance causes your body temperature to rise, making you sweat, and we know it does make you sweat, which in turn increases energy consumption. So it's just helping you to burn that fat, which is really, really great. So if you like spicy foods, enjoy. If you have ulcers, on the other hand, and your body doesn't agree with your body, you're going to want to get some milk into you right away to calm your stomach, because it can wreak havoc on your stomach. All right, the next food, I love them, and I don't know if I should be sharing with you that they're my favorites or not, but I'm just being honest, right? So I love them. I love beans. Oh my gosh, I really, really do love beans. And they help beans optimize nutrient metabolism. They're also satiating, filled with fiber and many soluble vitamins. And I love beans. I can't think of a bean that I don't like. I like them all. And if you cook them nice and slow, you put your smoked whatever. If you're vegan, you don't have to add your meat, but you can put some smoke in there and some onions and garlic, and you just let them cook nice and long and slow. And you want to, get you a nice thick broth on them. Yes, and you get that nice and thick. And if you can't, because you have to break up some of those beans to get some of that fiber out there, to get some of that pulp to make it nice and thick, because we like the bean juice to be thick and not watery. And also, with some of the beans, like the white beans, right? You can take those white beans, and somebody must be outside. He is barking. But you could take the water off of your beans, and you can use that to make to whip up stuff, to make, like as an egg substitute, make it nice and whippy and creamy and stuff like that. So yeah, so there's the water from the beans. You would have to cook your beans, right? So you cook them unseasoned, and you can pour off that water, that nice thick water, and use it. Because if you notice it, if you ever look at it, because I use beans a lot in making something like my taco soup or my chili. I use like 5 or 6 different types of beans in those things, and when I wash off I use canned beans, and you can, and use the canned beans, and I pour the liquid off, and I take and when you're doing that, you'll notice that that liquid foams up, and it looks like it's got soap in them, but nope, that's that goodness from those beans. I'm telling you, and you can use it in other stuff. So sometimes I would pour it off and I would save it back, and then my daughter, she would make up some different things with it. When we were experimenting in the kitchen and using the juice off of the beans as egg substitute, and using that instead of eggs. So, but beans, they're great for you. The next thing that we have that's great that you should have in your arsenal of natural weapons to fight belly fat would be flax seeds. And flax seeds, they can be eaten in seed form or in oil. And the seeds are a great addition to a bowl of cereal because they help fight water retention, which I probably need some of those because my feet are really swole right now. They help to fight water retention, and let's see, yeah, and they'll help to make some of the bloat go away, so you will look less bloated. But that's flax seeds. Now, I know that for those people who are vegan, they use flax in place of egg because you can use flax in the place of eggs. Now, mind you, here in my household, we have flaxseed, ground flaxseed, and all of that in the pantry. It's a staple, and it's used here in smoothies and all of that. So my kids are constantly blending up healthy smoothies and putting in flaxseed and all of that into their smoothies and stuff. So flaxseed is something that you can add to your diet. Again, you can use it in the seed form. You can grind it up. You can use it as an egg substitute in your baking, and you can use the oil from it as well. Now the oil, but you want to use it right away, whatever you do with flax seeds, because it will go rancid really quick. And the next is grapefruit. Now I love grapefruit. And don't put any sugar on the top of the grapefruit. That's a no-no. Just eat the grapefruit just like it is. Cut it in half, get you a grapefruit spoon, and get the scooping. It's delicious just that way. It doesn't need anything else added to it. And I love it just like that, straight. But grapefruit is it's kind of like a hybrid of a pomelo, which I'm not really sure what that is, but we know what an orange is. So that's what it, and it has a bitter substance to it. Something that makes it taste bitter. That's why people add sugar to it. But bitter foods, if they're not toxic, because if it's toxic, it's going to kill you. But bitterness is one of the sensations that we have, and it's actually good for you. So you need to experience that bitterness of grapefruit, because it's because it's a bitter that we can eat, right? So you would want to get that bitterness. But it is called naringenin, and that's a very powerful flavonoid, and it's found in grapefruits, and that's what causes that bitter taste again. But it significantly boosts your metabolism and stimulates fat loss in the liver. Now, yesterday we had a conversation with Netta Gorman, and she was telling us about how she was skinny on the outside, fat on the inside, and she had a fatty liver, or the precursors for a fatty liver. And so here's a food that you can eat. Oop, that's my heater. Here's a food that you can eat that will help to stimulate the fat loss of the fat that's on your liver. Grapefruit. All right? And I love them. And don't add any sugar to them because they don't need it. The next is ginger. Now, I love me some ginger snaps. But I don't care for ginger so much in other things that I eat. I love ginger tea. But in savory dishes, like some foods, and people put ginger in there. I love ginger in anything that you find where it's sweetened, right? But when it's savory, not so much. But Ginger is wonderful for you. And of course, I would like it when it's sweetened because I am what? A recovering sugar addict. So I like stuff sweet but not so much do I care for ginger as savory. But that doesn't matter to you, does it? No, because if you would enjoy ginger in your savory dishes, then you go right on ahead and you put it in there. But ginger, it can be consumed as a powder, as a powdered spice, and it can be consumed raw. And ginger root, and it is a root, it helps aid and stimulate digestion and is rich in fiber. It's so you can add a bit of grated ginger to your morning cup of tea, or for a fat boost. I love ginger ale as well. So, and I didn't realize that ginger ale was made with ginger. I just like ginger ale. But ginger, yes, and it's great for fat burning. Now, when I was younger and I experienced period cramps, they used to give me hot ginger tea for period cramps as well. So, I don't know why that worked and why they did that, but that was one of those things that my grandmother said to drink. All right. Next on the list, olive oil. Now, we all know olive oil is good. So, olive oil is very healthy. It's a very healthy form of fat, and it can help keep your stomach trimmed and toned. And it's an essential part of the Mediterranean diet, which you probably heard a lot about that. But they use high quality extra virgin olive oil because it has numerous health benefits and is high in vitamins A and E. Now notice we said high quality extra virgin olive oil. I don't know what to say. If that olive oil is cheap, it's not high quality. But some of it, even if it's expensive, it's still not high quality. You just want to be careful when you get your olive oil. Check the dates on the container. Make sure that you're getting it. Because of where it's produced at, you might not be getting the best quality of olive oil in your store here in the States. Because it's coming over in containers and stuff, and it's been pressed a while ago. But if you get good olive oil, you will taste it. You will taste it. You know what olives taste like? Olive oil will taste like olives. And it's very good for dipping bread into it. When I first got a hold of some good olive oil, some nice fresh olive oil, it was delicious. I was like, oh my gosh, this doesn't taste nothing like what I've been getting. But it was great. And I dipped a piece of bread into it, some nice crusty bread. It was wonderful. So make sure that your olive oil is of a good high quality olive oil, and you'll find that it is high in vitamins A and E. Turmeric. That's the next thing on the list. So in many countries, turmeric is considered a medicinal spice. And I know, I think my mom is drinking turmeric in a tea. But turmeric has antibacterial properties, and it can help heal you from your tummy troubles. So turmeric is really a great one to have in your in your pantry. Green tea. We've all heard the benefits of green tea, right? So green tea helps to banish stomach bloating as well as keep you hydrated. And instead of sweetening it with sugar, try some sweet. If you absolutely have to have something to sweeten it with, but try some sweet. Or, you can add lemon to it. You can add ginger to it. And you can even add turmeric. And this next food, oatmeal. Now, I want to speak a little bit about oatmeal because there are some varieties of oatmeal, and I might do another broadcast about this, but there are some varieties, there's some things about oatmeal that I think that we should really know. Now, am I a fan of oatmeal? Yes, in a cookie, but in a bowl? No. But that shouldn't stop you. But the thing about oatmeal is it's rich in fiber, and it's been proven to help balance cholesterol levels, and it's also very filling. That's what makes it a great option for breakfast. Now my daughter has done some amazing things with oatmeal. Before, she used to, every time we go to the store, she want to get oats, get the big thing of oatmeal, and then I had a blender. This is right when she was really young and she was learning how to cook, and she would take the oats and she would grind them up, and she was experimenting in the kitchen, so she was making all kinds of breads and everything with oat. I was like, I didn't know oatmeal could do that, because I wasn't a fan of oatmeal. She was experimenting. I don't know where she got that from, but she was experimenting, and she was grinding up, made oat flour, and then she would make breads and things with the oat flour. Blew me away, right? But the thing that I want to talk to you about oats is because, and I,
in this episode,
I don't want that to talk. Let me mute that. Let me mute. Because I know I got some things on there with that note, and I don't want it to talk. All right, so some things I want to tell you about oatmeal. That there are some different, there's one oat, but there's some different ways that you'll find that oat in the store. And the reason why I want to share this with you about oatmeal is because depending on how you eat your oats and how that oat is processed, the glycemic level of that can change. So whether you have a high glycemic or a low glycemic form of oatmeal, that's why I wanted to talk to you about oatmeal, because I want to expound just a little bit on that. So in the store, you're going to find steel cut oats, and then there's like the regular oats, and then the quick cooking oats, and then the instant oats. So there are those different kinds of oats, but the longer that your oats take to cook, the lower they are on the glycemic index. So for instance, the steel cut oats, right? Those are basically, so the oat is like, they call it like a groat, right? And so that oat the groat is the whole grain of the oats with the hull on it, hasn't been taken off. But when you have your steel cut oats, those are the groats, the oat groats that are cut into smaller pieces, and they use a sharp, steel blade to cut it, right? So that's how you have steel cut oats, but that's what it is. And but the groats, which is the full oat kernel, and the steel cut oats, they're minimally processed and they take a long time to cook, right? They're lower on the glycemic index, and they take about 20, they take anywhere from 20 to 45 minutes to cook. So they take a long time to cook, maybe even an hour, just depending, how soft you want to get it, but they're going to take a long time to cook. Then you have where they have already processed the oats, which is they steam them and then they roll them in the flakes, and with steel rollers and stuff. So that's how you get rolled oats, right? And those, I think, are probably where where a lot of us probably tend to eat at. We will eat in that rolled oat category if you eat oats. So, but the rolled oats, they have a larger surface area because they've been rolled out, and they've been steamed a little bit, and they've been rolled out, and then that they'll cook longer, right? They'll cook shorter. It'll take a shorter time to cook them. So you would want, that's like your old fashioned oats, right? Your old fashioned rolled oats. They typically take around 5 minutes to cook, and then you'll have the quick rolled oats, and they're basically steamed longer, so they're pre-cooked for you already, so they're steamed longer and they're rolled even thinner. And then you have your the ones that takes about 3 minutes or less to cook. And then you have your instant rolled oats, which we live in little packets. I used to feed that to my daughter. Little packet with all the little flavors. So the instant oats, and those cook like that. It takes no time. Just put some hot water on them, and they're done, right? And so, and those are usually just your rolled oats, and then they're chopped up a little bit. So that's how you get your instant oats. But again, the longer they take to cook, the lower they are on the glycemic index. The faster they cook, the higher they are on the glycemic index. So that's what I wanted to share with us about the oats. So when you're getting when you, if you are an oatmeal lover and you want to eat oatmeal, my suggestion is that you either get the whole groats or you get the steel cut oats. I think we'll do well with the steel cut oats. And then you go ahead and you cook them for the length of time it takes to cook them, and then you enjoy them. You could even maybe pre-cook them for yourself and then just already have them already cooked. Um, I don't know that that really makes a much difference in the glycemic index if you, but it's still, but the thing is it still has that. The reason why it takes so long to cook is because it has that fiber still on there, like the hull still on there. Whereas the other ones, that hull has been taken away and you just have what's on the inside. So remember that fiber is going to help slow down the digestion, which is going to keep your blood sugars stable and lower for longer, right? So you want that additional fiber in there. Okay, now that's about oats, but they're wonderful. They're good for you, and so they keep you full. All right, so next on the list is turkey. We're coming up on Turkey Day, right? So that and for a lot of you are going to be celebrating. That's tomorrow, and you're going to be having turkey, right? That's the center, right? Center stage of the meal is the turkey. Don't cook it too long and dry it out. Get one of those bags and put it in there. Throw your onions and celery, um, onions, celery, carrots. Put all that in there. Put your vegetables in there. Your was it? I'm about to say it wrong. Moi pois. Oh, Mirepoix. Put it in there. The Holy Grail. Put it in the bottom of there. My mother, I've seen her put butter on the top of the turkey. Along with all the seasonings and everything on top of the turkey. Put it in that bag. Yes. And it's falling off the bone. We don't have turkey that you have to carve. Is falling off the bone. Of course, the breast would still be carved, but those wings and everything is falling off the bone. That's the kind of turkey that I'm used to. Big old huge thing, but it be falling off the bone. So, but it is protein packed. Yes, protein packed turkey is good for fighting the yo-yo effects. It's lean, it's filling, and it can be prepared in a multiple of delicious ways. Now, I think I shared with you guys that I found this restaurant down here. They make something called a turkey chop, like a pork chop. I don't eat pork, but that turkey chop, I said I have to try that. But of course they fried it. Okay, listen, it was fried. It had gravy on top, and they put it on over a bed of rice. Was it good? Absolutely. I enjoyed it, but I had never heard of that. But I used to get, and I still get, turkey loin. So it's like just like a medallion. It's about like that, like a same looks like a pork loin, same thing, about the same size, but it was called turkey loin. And they cooked that and then sliced that up. Oh my goodness. And I would just get the extra, like when I have it, because it would be too big. Now for some reason my family would not eat that. They didn't like it as much as I did. They didn't enjoy it the way I did. But I thoroughly enjoyed it, especially when I threw a little mayo in there. And don't come for me talking about this ain't healthy. Okay? No, 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 no. But onions, mayo, mustard, onions. You get where I'm going with this? Because y'all going to have a lot of turkey left over. So y'all going to be trying to find something to do with that turkey. Right? What am I talking about? Making a turkey salad out of it, right? Like you make chicken salad or like you make tuna salad. Made a turkey salad. Yes, I did. And it was great. It's wonderful. You can have it on sliced bread. You can dip it with your veggies, your celery, your carrot sticks and all of that. It's great. It's wonderful. Turkey salad. That's what I would do with my turkey loins. They already came seasoned, and I just put it in the pan, cook it up, chop it up really fine. Onions in there, celery, of course, right? Celery in there, mustard, mayo, pickle relish. Hey, that's how I do mine. Did I say onions already? Yeah, and then some seasoning, some little salt and pepper in there. If you got a plain unseasoned turkey, because I don't like oven roasted turkey, just plain oven roasted turkey like that. But if you got a plain old turkey, you're gonna want to put a little salt and pepper in there, maybe, depending on your taste buds. Your taste buds, okay, not mine. But and then oh yeah, it's wonderful. So that's something you can do with your leftover turkey. All right, and papaya. That's the next thing we got on the list. So papayas are fiber rich and low in calories. They're high in potassium, another high potassium food, high in potassium content, and also they're great for improving your digestive function and countering high salt intake. So papayas, and if you don't know what those look like, those are green on the outside, orangish flesh in the inside, and they have um, these big pearly looking seeds on the inside, right? But papaya, so they're great for you. Next is dark chocolate. Now, we know we love some chocolate, but the darker the chocolate, the better. The higher the cacao content in the chocolate, the better. And you should get unsweetened chocolate. And I know it would be bitter, kind of hard, and kind of unpalatable, but you should get semi-sweet chocolate, something that's not sweetened with sugar. I'm sure there are some great unsweetened out there that are sweetened with the sweetener. I'm working on making a chocolate made with some sweet, but you know, that'll be next year. I'm waiting on my melanger to come. Do you know what that is? That's the chocolate grinder. Yes, we're going to be going bean to bar. I probably shouldn't have said that right now, huh? Well, maybe not bean to bar, but we're going to be going something to bar. But that's next year. But anyway, chocolate, dark chocolate, yes, 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 yes. Dark chocolate is actually your ally when it comes to fighting belly fat, thanks to certain compounds that put the brakes on your digestion and keep you feeling full. So can you imagine that? That chocolate can help you to stay full, and help you stay full for longer. And so just don't eat the whole bar. It just takes just one or two squares, not the whole bar. One or two squares, but chocolate, right? Who'd have thought? Now this next thing I want to talk to us about a little bit as well. This is cinnamon, right? Cinnamon helps stimulate your body's response to insulin, and it helps to keep good cholesterol stable while also lowering bad cholesterol. It's a great spice that you can add to your cooking, and we know cinnamon is delicious because we listen. I know a lot of us love cinnamon and sugar, right? Because you can put it on anything, and cinnamon rolls, yum yum. Now listen, listen, listen. You can mix that cinnamon with some sweet, and it will taste great, right? As a cinnamon, your cinnamon and sugar alternative. But I want to talk to you about the cinnamon because there's different types of cinnamon, and I try to make, I've always tried to make the people who I know that really like cinnamon and use cinnamon a lot, to make them aware of this, especially like my mom. Um, who, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying, but she has lupus, and so I try and make her aware about the cinnamon, and to tell people about the different types of cinnamon, because there's two types of cinnamon. There's like four. Well, there's two main types of cinnamon, and of that one main type of cinnamon, which is cassia cinnamon, and then there's the real cinnamon, which is Ceylon cinnamon. So cassia is rich, is a very rich source of coumarin. Have you ever heard of coumarin? So you don't want to get a lot of coumarin. So, but cassia is very rich in coumarin, and so you don't want to get a lot of that in your system. And I know that there was this challenge going around, and people were, doing the cinnamon challenge, and you really could have, not only, because they were choking on the cinnamon because they were taking it in and putting it in their mouth, and then, with no water to follow, but there also could have been other things that come from consuming too much of that, right? So um, coumarin taken in large doses. Okay, so coumarin is a compound that's found naturally in several plant foods, and it can be harmful in large doses. So they've done the studies and they found that, like in rodents, coumarin is known to cause kidney, liver, and lung damage, and it may even cause cancer. So in humans, there are isolated incidents of similar effects of that from coumarin, from excess coumarin. So the daily tolerable intake, or the tolerable daily intake, TDI, of coumarin um, is, let's see, is about 0.05 milligrams, right? 0.05 milligrams. So, and cassia is what's rich, the cassia cinnamon. And the thing about it is that's the cinnamon that you're going to find on your store shelves more than likely, because the Ceylon cinnamon is more expensive and you won't find that. And so when you're looking in the stores and you're getting your cinnamon, it's not going to say cassia, but it will say Ceylon. So that's Ceylon. And I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but that's Ceylon. That's the one that has, it doesn't contain as much coumarin. So cassia contains approximately 1% of coumarin, while Ceylon contains only about 0.004%, almost none. 250 times less than the cassia cinnamon. And the cassia cinnamon, and again, is the cheaper variety of cinnamon, and it's the one that you're going to find on the store shelf. So if you're looking for a better cinnamon, now, even though most of the studies and tests have been done on cinnamon, and how its effects have been done utilizing cassia cinnamon, Ceylon is the better cinnamon because it doesn't contain as much coumarin. Okay? So, your daily limit again on cinnamon is 1 to 2 teaspoons. And really, if you want to be really, really careful, because that 1 to 2 teaspoons could bring somebody over their daily limit quite really quickly. So be very, very careful with the cinnamon. And I know, I mean, aside from that challenge, I don't think that people are just like downing a ton of cinnamon. But again, you want to be careful with the cinnamon. Now, there are other types of this cassia, but again, you want to try and find the better variety, which is going to be more expensive, but that's Ceylon, and it's Ceylon, cinnamon. Okay, but cinnamon is good for you. It's also known to be very good with your blood sugar, to help lower blood sugar. So, and I know that, so that a lot of people, if they are diabetic, would probably, or pre-diabetic, would probably be wanting to use cinnamon for just very purposes, right? To help to lower and stabilize blood sugar and all of that. So you would want to be looking for the Ceylon cinnamon in that case. Okay. Well, it's getting very, very close. I think we got time for one more of these natural weapons. And let me see, because I have a list of some very different ones. Let me throw this one out here. Strawberries. I'm just going to go through try and get through this really quickly here. Strawberries. So, strawberries are heart healthy. In fact, they look like little hearts sometimes, right? So they're heart healthy. They're full of essential daily vitamins. They're also fat free. They're low in calorie. And so it's a great snack with zero guilt. It's rich in fiber. Them little seeds on there, rich in fiber. So they also do a great job of helping you to fight off hunger. Cumin. Cumin is the ultimate spice when it comes to healing indigestion. It has a calming and relaxing effect on your tummy and your intestines. Cumin. And those are like those little seeds that you find in sausages, you know. And apple cider vinegar. Yes, I wanted to get to this one because we use apple cider vinegar daily on regular for a detox. Mix it with some juice. My child does, right? Mixes with juice. She's constantly detoxing. But the thing about apple cider vinegar is it contains loads of essential vitamins and minerals. Most importantly, it contains vitamin A and pectin, which are great antioxidants. Now, with your apple cider vinegar, you want to get the one that is cloudy looking, right? And it's got the mother in there. That's what they call it, the mother. That's the starter for the apple cider vinegar. That is, that's what you want your apple cider vinegar to look like. It shouldn't be crystal clear like water, but just orange or tannish brownish in color. No, it should be a little cloudy and have that mother in there because it's made from apples, right? So we know what apple cider looks like. Apple cider isn't clear, is it? No, it's got the pectin, it's got the apple and all of that in there, and that's what you want. And so you would want to have that mother in your apple cider vinegar. Should be clear, a clear, just a crystal clear liquid, because in that case that might mean that it's not apple cider vinegar, but it's actually what they call it, acetic acid vinegar, just regular old pure just white vinegar that they drop some color into and maybe something to make it smell or a little taste off like apple cider vinegar or whatever, but it's not the pure apple cider vinegar, and that's what you want to get, is the pure apple cider vinegar. I'm holding this water bottle, but you want to get the pure apple cider vinegar. Okay, and let's start with here. We'll go with bananas now, because I said a lot about bananas. I said I don't like bananas, but I really don't. I don't care for the taste of bananas, but that doesn't mean anything because they're absolutely good for you. They're absolutely fantastic for you, right? So bananas, they have a low glycemic index because you can see right there when you look at a banana, it's full of fiber, right? But you want to get the banana when it's closer to the green side than when it's closer to the brown side. Now I'm just gonna say that because once it's brown, it's gone totally to syrup and sugar, right? But the less ripe the banana is, or the perfectly ripe banana, the less ripe it is, it's got resistant starch in it, and it's harder to break for your body to break down that starch, but it won't also be as sweet, and you, of course, it'll be very firm, it'll be hard, but the more ripe it is, the softer it gets, and then by the time it reaches the brown stage, it's just syrup. Okay, it's just really, and it's going to be higher on the glycemic index for you. So but bananas have a low glycemic index, which makes them ideal for burning fat because they help to stabilize the blood sugar and provide you with slow release energy, right, because of the fiber that's in there. And they also make a great pre and post workout food. So for those of you who are looking for something to eat when you're trying to work out, bananas would be it. And last but not least, it's not the last that I have on my list, but it's the last where we're going to stop at today. Coffee. Coffee. It is a true fat burner, but only when drunk without milk and sugar. Not your I was going to say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. Not going to get coffee from there, right? But the coffee that is without milk and sugar. Caffeine and niacin are key substances contained in coffee, and they help you to burn body fat by increasing your energy expenditure by up to 100 calories a day. So coffee, you want to drink that without milk and sugar. But if you absolutely have to have it sweetened, a little something sweeter, do you? But we're going to stop there for today. I just want to thank you all so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's broadcast, go ahead, give me a thumbs up, like the video, follow me on my social medias. I'm going to run through those again really, really quickly for you here. Because I'm streaming live right now on Facebook at SAIRNT, on YouTube at SAIRNT, on Twitter at Some Sweet Foods, and on Instagram at Some Sweet Foods. And you can find the podcast to follow on Anchor Podcast or wherever you listen to your podcasts. All right, it's been great chatting with you all today, and I pray that you have a happy and safe holiday. Until next time, peace and blessings.